Major cities watched as a portion of Atlanta's busiest highways caught fire, then collapsed last Thursday. Now in the process of a several-month cleanup, transportation officials say it could have been avoided. And Focus reporter Mallory Safaste has their warning to other cities and more on how Maryland is responding.
695 already has its fair share of traffic, but imagine that part of it is completely closed off and all that traffic has to take a detour. Well, that's Atlanta's reality right now, but Maryland is making sure that that won't happen here. Smoke, fire, and then it collapsed. Hundreds of thousands travel along I-85 in Atlanta every day, but those drivers will now face some delays following a fire underneath the highway that spread to combustible materials and led to the bridge's collapse.
What they had seemed to be some construction materials stored underneath of a bridge. They're still looking for the real cause of the fire, as far as I know. But what had happened is it started to burn very quickly and very hot, and that started to impact the concrete and the steel on the bridge.
Maryland State Highway Administrator Greg Slater received a letter from the commissioner of the Georgia Department of Transportation about the incident. The commissioner also had this to say to all state transportation agencies.
We never would want something like this to happen again, and that's part of the message when sending to the other state DOTs to let them know of this, because I don't think anybody would ever thought that this kind of thing would happen. And so we're going to let this, again, a joint review and investigation, hopefully be lessons learned not only for Georgia but for the nation.
In Maryland, there's no comprehensive list of what's housed under each of the 2,500 plus state-owned bridges. So over the next couple of weeks, crews will be sent out to investigate.
So what we're doing is we're looking at every single one, first seeing if there's any material stored under there. If there are, then what we're doing is we're going back and looking at what we have permitted, what we don't have permitted.
Inspectors have been advised to document, then relocate any materials that could be flammable.
What happens is, I've been in this industry and, we changed a lot when the bridge collapse happened in Minnesota and now this fire issue. We learned from those things and moved forward.
Every 2 years, state highway inspectors come out to physically inspect bridges, make sure they're structurally sound. But from now on, that inspection will also include checking for any materials that are left behind. In Baltimore County, I'm Mallory Safaste.